Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to AdamMcKola TV. I'm Adam outside Old Trafford. As you can see, it's the morning after the derby where Manchester United were beaten by Manchester City. Yes, oh, man, that moment where Marcus Rashford scored, if I could just bottle that, it was so good, innit? Think about some of the goals we've scored this season, by the way. It's been an abysmal season, but think about some of the goals. Marcus Rashford against Arsenal, Marcus Rashford against City, Bruno Fernandes against Burnley, Bruno Fernandes against Fulham, Garnacho against Everton. We have got our own goal of the season contenders, yeah, but we've been absolutely rubbish, haven't we? We've been rubbish this season. And Manchester United at the moment, when you look at this league table, listen to this. We are 6 points off fifth place Spurs, who have a game in hand on us. We are 11 points off fourth place Aston Villa. Now, let's not get into the fact that we're 21 points off Liverpool. 19 points off Liverpool. We are 18 points off Man City, and we are 14 points off Arsenal. Let's not even get into that. Just a simple fact, we cannot catch Aston Villa and Spurs is staring us right in the face right now. Because I've got to say, Manchester United aren't getting top four. Manchester United aren't getting top five. Manchester United aren't getting Champions League football. You look at the amount of games we've lost this season. Roy Keane said it yesterday after the game. He said 11 league games they've lost. It's a scary stat. It was men versus boys at the end. They were just hanging in there, making mistakes. It could have been 4 or 5. And it's really true. Obviously, in that first half, Marcus Rashford's goal was out of this world, but that was our only shot on target. We had other opportunities that we maybe could have scored off if Marcus Rashford gets that header right, gets the ball into his path, his one-on-one, and he usually does well in those positions, especially with the confidence of scoring that goal. He had another opportunity in the box as well. We had a number of chances to actually capitalise and make it 2-0 in that first half. Now, look, how good Man City are and the pressure they put on teams, maybe they come back and they turn it around anyway. But we had the chances in those first half, and we had to take them. I thought the first half performance of Johnny Evans and Rafael Varane was excellent. Were absolutely fantastic. But there's only so long that you can play like that. And it does show you how far Manchester United have fallen behind that. Look, I think it was the right game plan. I think it was the right game plan that nearly paid off and could have paid off if we took our chances. But the fact that that has been our game plan at Manchester City for the last 10 years, even when we've done well there under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it was soak it up and hit them on the counter-attack, shows you just how far Manchester City have fallen behind. Because you see teams, and I know most teams go there and do that, but look at Liverpool, look at Arsenal, all producing something, all competing. And Manchester United just aren't. We were like a team in the FA Cup third round that had just got a goal against, the Minnows that have got a goal against the Giants. And that's got to change over the next couple of years, next couple of seasons. And when I heard Erik ten Hag come out after and say the performance was good, we're disappointed with the result, I thought, boy, that don't sound good. He says small margins. All right, cool. Maybe if the foul's given on Kyle Walker on Marcus Rashford, maybe they don't equalise. But you still feel like that equaliser was coming. But you could say, all right, you could say momentum shifter. He goes, we defended very well, and there were 2 defining moments when we nearly made a breakthrough and conceded the first goal. But we didn't. And it was all just counter-attacking options. And I am getting a little bit worried when I hear him coming out and saying, because look, I'm a big fan of Erik ten Hag. I want him to be Man United manager next season. But to do that, you've got to be getting performances and you've got to be getting results. And I was having a chat with Joe on the Uncensored we did for Paddock, go check that out, about like what the problems have been this season. And I do think injuries have been a major factor, no doubt about it, especially in building up momentum and stuff like that. They've come at some of the worst possible times, start of the season, and then when we finally get on a winning run, we have a few more injuries. Like, worst possible times, these injuries have come, and to key players to what Manchester United are doing. But we went through the squad, and we were looking at the squad, and we were going, right, a lot of these players shouldn't be there, or they're chronically injured or whatever. So you have to give him that this squad is horribly mismanaged. You take out Lisandro Martinez, you haven't got any other football playing centre-backs apart from Johnny Evans, who's 35. But at the same time, some of the results that we've seen throughout this season, and some of the reason we've lost momentum and lost, where we've been, is because of the simple facts that substitutions have been poor at times. The way we've set up in certain games has been poor at times, especially here at Old Trafford. And to have lost 11 league games already, not just losing against Man City or Arsenal or Liverpool, 11 league games, that performance against Fulham, and then to hear some of the things he's coming out and saying after, it does worry me. And you're either looking at a manager that knows his time could be up, and he knows his time could be up, so he's just trying to, buy himself more time by like telling the owners, look, everything's positive on the inside, trust me, everything's fine, stick with me. Or he has been told by Ineos, by Jim Ratcliffe, that he has got X amount of time to turn things around. And, or I would love to see Ten Hag with the right structure in place, with the footballing director and all those different people, and working for a board that want to push change and want to push success. I would love to see Ten Hag working with that. And I hope he gets the chance. But you do worry that maybe too much has gone. Maybe we've gone too far down that line of all these negative results. But it's a worried one. And if we lose the cup game against Liverpool, we're literally looking at is the manager fighting for his job to the end of the season, because that's all there's left to do. You look at some of the stats. Let's look at some of the stats, though, after 10 years of Erik Ten Hag at Manchester United. And when we look at some of these stats, games 100, wins 61. So he's won 61% of his games, which isn't bad. Draws 11, defeats 28. That's a damning indictment, that. A 61% win ratio. Games faced 20 plus shots, which is a weird stat, but anyway, 14. So 14% of the times we faced 20 plus shots. Defeats by 3 goals, 7% of the time we've been lost 3 or plus goals. And he's spent a net transfer spend of 331 million. But when you look at where we were when he came in, I still think a lot more needs to be spent on this team. And the winning ratio is very good. But it's just the feel. I think his record as well after 100 games is better than most managers of Manchester United. But it's just the feel at the moment. And it feels like it could just be slipping through his fingers. I hope that's not the case, though. I hope that's not the case. And I hope we turn up here on March the 17th against Liverpool. The place is rocking. We got something to fight for, and we get a result. Because maybe that could be the turning point, and maybe lifting the FA Cup could be just what he needs to keep him in a job. But we know that never kept Louis van Gaal in one. So, yeah. Come on, Eric, man, turn this around. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that. I'll see you lot very, very soon. See you in a bit.